Hey everybody, I just want to let you know that this most likely is going to be a very short video because I kind of want to show you some things that are not, just a couple of things that are not anything I would really use, but well, one of them, if you've ever used frameworks, and I'm kind of giving away a spoiler here, if you ever used frameworks, I'm sure you've seen them before, and I just want to kind of explain them a little bit more. And then we're going to look at something that I would not personally use, nor would they suggest you do, but it's up to you. Whatever you want to do is how you want to do it. That's your business, no one else's. But if you look here, and I wanted to do this in front of you, but it wasn't working out for me. There's something called namespace, and for those of you that don't know, a namespace is sort of like a nameplate. And what you can do with namespacing is you can almost make it easier to reference what you're using. Right now, it doesn't seem like I'm doing anything but just breaking down tutorial, includes, and classes. But as you can see, I'm referencing the folders and calling it something so that now, throughout the course of the page, we can just reference it as that. Now, let me see if I can do this here. If you want, you can also go as classes. No, it's not. You have to do here. You can go to classes as classes, and then from this point on, if you wanted to, you can refer to whatever you use the classes, like whenever you use one of these classes, you can just not have all this trailing stuff. You can just call it classes. But first, you would have to, in the first line after the PHP, you would have to namespace it. Well, and really what this does now, if we were just to go like this, we could do that. Yeah, you would have to actually use, let me see. You'd have to actually call first. We'll do this. I don't know, can I do that here? I should be able to do that here. Let's see. But namespacing, like I said, it sort of gives you the ability to just, instead of say includes, just use something that looks a little bit more user friendly. And above all things, when we start making more classes, we can just keep using the use and then name the classes and how we've put them together here because of namespacing. Namespacing it's sort of like an indexing. It sort of like tells the server how we want to reference this. And then at that point, if we wanted to, we could include and we can go like, let me just double check, make sure I got my, includes connection. We can just do that if we wanted to have this communicate with the server. But like I said, the namespace comes first, and it's really just like it's like a spot. It just kind of gives you a spot, and then. But let me just take a look at my syntax. It kind of spots it for you, so that it knows. It gives it sort of like a nickname almost. See, so you can just keep, but you need to make sure it knows exactly where to look. So that's why you see me doing this with the trail slash and everything, because it needs to know, okay, this namespace, this class's folder is, or this class's files in this folder. And then from there, you can reference it as that. It's like a nickname, like a pseudonym. So it just makes it a little bit easier, but let me just see how. And if we wanted to use these classes in a certain manner throughout the course of the page, we can then use it, and we can also do, actually, let me go to the W3 schools. We could then give it another nickname like this, as T. And then at that point, if you ever need to use that class, you can just call it T. You know, again, it's a means to sort of make it a little bit more seamless, a little bit easier to sift through. And again, as I've said, one thing that techies like is techies like when you type less. So it's best to find shortcuts around everything. So that's namespacing. What you can also do is you can do what's called global variables or global identifiers. Now, we have seen PHP's global variables, and they are in this form: post, sessions, server, whatever. But if you were to go to, let's say, if you were to make like another page, or even maybe we can go in the head page or something, and you were to say something like define, that's a keyword and a key function that at this point you can then give it a name, and make sure it's not a keyword, garbage, give it a value 5, and then you could say true, or you can leave it blank. What that means is throughout the course of the page, what is with this thing? Throughout the course of the page, I can then go down here, I can echo out. Would I have to put a, I think I can just do this. No, I probably have to put a, oh no, there it is. Let me just double check. That's what I put it as, right? Yeah, 5. You could just type in garbage and then the 5 comes up. Now, if you were to say, if I didn't put true, that's going to give me a fatal error because it's looking for the literal, what is with this? Can't even see it. It's looking for the literal value of, or the literal referencing here. But if I put true, it should be okay. Then it's just whatever the word is. No, it is case sensitive. Okay, so it doesn't matter. So if I were to put this, this will still give me the value because, oh wait, hold on. I think it's by default true. But whatever. But like I said, you have to put like, you have to make sure that you put it. Yeah, now if you're telling me it's ignoring the declaration case and sensitive constants no longer supported, okay, then fine, then we'll get rid of that. We'll just get rid of that. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's why people don't really use it. Because it's kind of wacky, like, in terms of its case sensitivity. But I mean, you could do that. You could give it a string value, string. And this is more for like if you're trying to sort of, if you're gonna reuse something a bunch of times and you want it to just be there, you know, like I said, you can go garbage, you can say 10 in case you forgot the number 10 or how it multiplies, whatever, and everywhere you go, even in the send or wherever the head is introduced, or let's go to third, we can say we can go here and we can go plus garbage. And then when we go to third, we can see that we've gone up 10 months, because that's the value that we gave the global variable garbage. So I mean, like I said, a couple of things I just wanted to show you before we move on. I would never use these. You can if you want. I myself wouldn't. But namespacing we are going to do as we move further along, and I want to kind of introduce it to you because it's something that, again, is good. It's good practice. It's a good means to sort of make it easier to get through all the different files, especially if you're making like a real intricate backbone framework, whatever, because you're going to be going through so many different files and everything, and you don't want to have to keep referencing them the same way over and over again. So I just wanted to keep you alerted to that when I come back. What do we want to do? Because we're almost done. We're really almost done with, like, there's really not much more with PHP. I mean, there might be a couple of little things we can do here and there. But I'm trying to think of when we start making the site. Because like I said, if you're new to this, this is all just me introducing things to you so that when we're done with this, we're going to actually make a really, really full, fun website that I still am not really 100% sure of what I want to do. I've got ideas, but we'll figure it out. So I'll be back in just a second with something else.